And good evening. We welcome you back to the National Training Center here in Clermont, Florida. The 2012 FHSAA softball finals continue. And tonight we will crown a champion in Class 6A between the Pembroke Pines Jaguars with a record of 21-4. And they are out of Broward County. And the Niceville Eagles with a record of 29-2 out of Okaloosa County. The Panhandle against South Florida tonight here for this 6A state championship. Along with the head coach at Winter Springs High School, Mark Woolman, I'm Marty Paulman, welcoming you back to Clermont. And Coach, welcome back for day two for you here. And boy, what a great game we just had in 2A. And the Grandview Prep Pride won their first state softball title. And they came down to the last strike, but they get 3 runs in the top of the 7th and hold on to win 6-5 over Pine Castle Christian.
Hey, Marty, thanks for having me back. Yeah, that was an exciting game. Everything that we play high school softball for, and high school sports in general, but that was down to the last strike, no one out, down by 2, and or down by 1 to rally back and then score 2 with a player off the bench, getting the pinch hit double. It was, she's got to be excited, young lady.
And in the end, they were able to hold off Pine Castle. Did score a run in the bottom of the 7th. Last hitter got to first base on an error, but rounded first and was tagged out trying to get back to first. So exciting game there, and Grandview Prep wins in Class 2A. But tonight we're going to have a champion crowned in 6A. Pembroke Pines Charter, who enters after beating Lakewood Ranch 4-0 in the semifinals yesterday. They're the visiting team tonight. The Jaguars, who are coached by Tom Fadul in his 12th year. He has 264 wins and 63 losses. And for Niceville, they defeated O'Galley 8-4 last night. They are the defending 5A state champions, and they are looking to win this year in Class 6A. Pembroke Pines Charter has been finalist 3 times previously. In 2008, losing in the championship to Naples in 4A. 2006 at 5, they lost to Bartow in the 4A championship. And then they lost to Plantation, or to Bartow again in 2004 in 4A. So this is a team that's been close before in Pembroke Pines Charter. They got a tough matchup tonight here against Niceville, as Christina Sacramento, the pitcher, number 80, will lead off for the Jaguars at Pembroke Pines Charter.
I think many people would favor Niceville in this one, especially based on what they did to O'Galley last night. But even after a big game, there could be a letdown.
That was a matchup of state champions last night. Niceville, the defending 5A state champ, defeated O'Galley, the defending 4A champion, 8-4. And Jamie Uvari back in the circle today for Niceville. She is 21-2 now. She went all the way last night, allowing 4 runs. Did have 7 walks, but 7 strikeouts in the win. And it's 1-1 now to Christina Sacramento, who is the pitcher today for Pembroke Pines Charter. Coming into this tournament, she was hitting .459 with 4 home runs and 26 RBIs. And here's the 1-1 on the way. Pitch misses a little bit outside, 2-1. The rest of the lineup for Pembroke Pines Charter, hitting second in center field, number 5, Cheyenne Williford. Batting third at second base, number 10, Victoria Gonzalez. Hitting fourth is the first baseman, number 44, Monica Palacio. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 3, Courtney Dart. Hitting sixth and catching, number 11, Jamie Gonzalez. As there's a foul off to the left, out of play. Ooh, look out. No one looking over there. Almost got hit by a softball in the back of the head. The count is 2-2. Hitting seventh and playing third base for Pembroke Pines Charter, number 88, Sophia DeVesa. Batting eighth in right field, number 17, Bridget Blunt. And hitting ninth in left field is number 2, Annette Rotuno. So 2-2 the count to Sacramento, the leadoff hitter. And the pitch popped up, and looks like that is heading out of play, and it will make it just over the fence. And it remains 2-2. Pembroke Pines Charter's last appearance in the state semifinals, 2009. They lost to Lake Wales 4-0 in the 4A state semifinals. So again, they're a team that's been here plenty under Tom Fadul to this level, but that elusive state title, which Grandview Prep had been a state finalist 3 years in a row. This time they get that state title earlier today in 2A. We'll see if the same luck can apply to Pembroke Pines Charter tonight. Another 2-2 on the way to Sacramento is chopped to third. It's throw across in time, as that's the third baseman, Kaylin Davis, who had a grand slam last night. She makes the throw over to first to get Sacramento 5-3, and that's 1 out.
Well, Jamie Uvari did something she didn't do last night. She retired the leadoff hitter. She had those 3 walks in the first inning last night, put herself in just a little bit of bind, but fought out of it against O'Galley.
She actually walked 3 batters in 2 different innings, but O'Galley left the bases loaded in 2 innings with only 1 run, first and the third, and then Niceville with an 8-run third, capped by a grand slam by Kaylin Davis. They were able to hold on from there to win 8-4. So here is Audrey Diekman, the first baseman for Niceville. This is Cheyenne Williford, the center fielder, takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Defensively for Niceville, Audrey Diekman is at first base. The second baseman is Alex Brunson. At shortstop, Jesse Mullen. Kaylin Davis at third. In the outfield, Courtney Adams in right. The center fielder is Stephanie Hartness. Lauren Donaldson in left. Jessica Uvari, the twin of Jamie, is catching, and Jamie Uvari in the circle.
They probably don't get into too many arguments.
Pretty good tandem, and what do you know? They're catcher-pitchers, so you're right. When she shakes her off, I'm sure Jessica said, well, you better throw the pitch I'm asking for. I know what I'm doing. 1-1 the count with 1 out, nobody on. And bunted. Going to be a tough play for Diekman. Quick throw. Got her. No. Oh. Well, I thought the umpire was going to signal. Looked like he was going for the out call, and he went safe. As Alex Brunson came over to cover first. Diekman came off to get the bunt. It's an infield hit for Williford. That's just looking like he was going for the...
Sure did look like he was going to punch her out.
So Williford to first with 1 out. Here is Victoria Gonzalez.
Since we have that speed on base again, the disruptors.
So Gonzalez, the second baseman, coming into the tournament, 451, 11 home runs, 37 RBIs. These two teams both hit the ball well, as you would expect. Niceville at a team average coming in at 375. Pembroke Pines Charter at 356. Niceville 254 runs this season. Pembroke Pines with 171. There's a swing and a miss. The throw to second is not in time. Almost came off the base, did Williford, but she's safe with a stolen base as Jessica Uvari's throw was not in time.
Stole that one easily.
So a runner at second with 1 out. That's Williford.
Nice slide, too. Wrapped herself around the base. It all, like you said, her hand almost came off of that.
Tom Fadul in his 12th season. He's the only coach in the history of this program at Pembroke Pines Charter, which started as a school back in 2001. 1-1, hit into right field, and nice catch on the run. And moving the ball in, making sure the runner doesn't move, as Courtney Adams makes a nice running catch, and Gonzalez lines out to right, 2 outs, and nowhere for Williford to go. She's at second.
That was tougher than we might think. The sun is really in the eyes of the first baseman, right fielder, and second baseman. First baseman dropped a couple throws in warm-ups coming from third base.
So with 2 outs, here's Monica Palacio, the first baseman. And pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Well, earlier today, we mentioned Grandview Prep was down to their last strike. They were down 4-3 to Pinecastle Christian. It was looking for its 4th state championship since 2006. And then a close play at first as that's hit way foul. Look out, Bright House and Truck, just between the two over there. And it's 1-1. And close play at first. Replays seemed to show the runner was out. But the first base umpire called her safe, and then they scored 3 runs in the inning to Grandview. Pinecastle got a run back in the bottom of the 7th, but they came up short 6-5. Really a great championship game in 2A, as that's a strike 1 and 2.
A nice changeup on the corner.
A lot of excitement though in that game as Pinecastle, hitter got to first base on an error. She rounded to second, went too far, and they tagged her trying to get back to first for the final out. A little bit outside, count even at 2-2. Runner at second, 2 outs.
Jessica Vari really working hard for her sister there, trying to frame that ball, get the ump to give a call catch in the corner.
So 2-2 the count with 2 outs. And a swing and a miss. Went up high with the rise ball, and Palacio swings through it for strike 3.
Those balls are hard to lay off.
No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base for Pembroke Pines Charter in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first. Pembroke Pines, Jaguars, nothing. The Niceville Eagles are coming to bat here on the FHSAA network. Here's the lineup for Niceville, a record of 29-2. Leading off and playing center field is number 4, Stephanie Hartness. Batting second at first base, number 14, Audrey Diekman. Hitting third and playing shortstop, number 7, Jesse Mullen. Batting fourth and catching for the Eagles is number 36, Jessica Uvari. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 23, Kaylin Davis, who had the grand slam in last night's win for Niceville. Hitting sixth at second base is number 10, Alex Brunson. Batting 7th in left field, number 24, Lauren Donaldson. Hitting 8th is the designated player, number 22, Devin Hines. And batting 9th and playing right field, number 6, Courtney Adams. And the Niceville lineup will face Christina Sacramento. It's a great name. 5'8" senior, number 80, too. Great number for a pitcher. She's also their leadoff hitter. And pretty good record.
She's a wide receiver for the football team, too, with that number.
Yeah, that's right. Got a little bit of Jerry Rice almost. 15-3, now 16-3 with a win yesterday as she got a complete game shutout over Lakewood Ranch. And 17 walks and 138 strikeouts. Her ERA around 1.3. Pembroke Pines Charter was actually the runner-up in their district, losing to Archbishop McCarthy 6-5. Then they went on the road to win Region 4. Defeating Mater Academy from Hialeah Gardens 12-0. Then Archbishop McCarthy 5-1 in a rematch. Beat Ida S. Baker 5-2. So all three of those games were on the road. And then yesterday, 4-0 over Lakewood Ranch in the state semis. Meanwhile, Niceville, champs of District 5 easily. In Region 2, they defeated Escambia 6-2. Tate out of Cantonment 12-1. And then Orange Park 4-0 as they won all three of those games at home. Actually, and they did play. They did host Orange Park, and then yesterday beating O'Galley 8-4. So here is Stephanie Hartness, who takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Hartness last night was 2 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI. Also stole a base.
You know, sometimes it's easier to win on the road as a district runner-up. We did that 2 years ago to get here, and it just doesn't seem like maybe the kind of pressure, I guess, that sometimes playing at home. I prefer to play at home. But.
Yeah. I think every coach would say that. Hitting the air to center field, and Williford will make the play as Hartness flies off for 1 out. I think every coach would say, well, it's easier to win on the road, like you said, because I guess maybe you're focused with the crowds against you. They really come out. But, yeah, playing at home, it's nice to beat in your home stadium.
It's nice to have that last at bat, not to have to mess up your routine.
All right, 1 out, and Audrey Diekman, the first baseman. There's a swing and a miss. And so when I think that, to me, the biggest home field advantage in any sport has always been football. And I think basketball is actually more than you think. But I think baseball and softball are the ones where the home field doesn't always really mean as much. Popped up and hit back, out of play. You might disagree with me, I guess. But
well, I just, I like going on the road, but I like having that last at bat.
Yeah. Well, that's always true, too. 0-2 the count.
And softball and baseball crowds aren't as loud because it's not as contained as basketball and not as
Old strike 3 to Diekman, 2 outs.
Not as many people as football.
So 2 outs, and defensively for Pembroke Pines Charter at first base, Monica Palacio. The second baseman is Victoria Gonzalez, shortstop Courtney Dart. At third base, it's Sophia DeVesa. In the outfield, Bridget Blunt in right. Annette Rotuno's in left. The center fielder, Cheyenne Williford. Jamie Gonzalez behind the plate. Christina Sacramento is in the circle. There's a strike, quickly 0-1 to Jessie Mullen, the shortstop.
Sacramento's working ahead.
Mullen was 1 for 2 last night with a run scored. Walked twice. And you're right, Sacramento ahead 0-1 quickly. A little bit low, 1-1. We are at the National Training Center here in Clermont, Lake County, the 3rd year of the FHSAA softball finals being here in Clermont. Beautiful facility here as the sun sets over South Lake County, and there's a called strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
It is a very picturesque place. Folks, if you live close, get down here while you got a chance. Weather is beautiful.
You have 4 more days going through next Monday, so tomorrow we'll have 3A and 7A semis, the championships on Saturday, 4A and 8A semifinals on Mother's Day, so that'd be a nice Mother's Day.
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah, bring them out.
12, 2, 4 and 6, 7.
12, 2, 5 and 7. And then
bring moms out for some softball.
Monday will be the championship games at 4 and 7.
The concession stand here is great, too, so there's dinner and lunch.
2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3, and 2 strikeouts for Sacramento. She gets Mullen swinging, and Niceville goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. So no score as we go to the top of the second in this 6A championship game here in Clermont on the FHSAA network. Yeah, I'm sure Mom would enjoy that. Maybe. That's something you got to ask, obviously. Say, we're just going to go to softball. But that'd be something that, a lot of mothers will be watching their daughters play on Sunday. It's for the first time we're playing on Sunday due to the going with classes 7A and 8A. Now 8 classes of softball.
8 classes of softball, 2 more days out here, and it's give a few more teams a chance to get the big prize.
And we've seen that already this week in 1A as Lafayette won their first state softball title, defeating Jay 12-9 on Tuesday. In 2A, that was for the first one for Grandview Prep out of Boca Raton. The Pride winning at 6-5. And in Class 5A, the state champ, well, they're no stranger. Plantation American Heritage won it again. They beat Bellevue 4-0. But tonight, a 6A champion. Tomorrow we'll get started at noon with the 3A semifinals as Kelly Neff will return and have the first game for you. Then Mike Rideout will come in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. We start with 3A at noon. It'll be Delray Boca Delray American Heritage taking on West Palm Beach Kings Academy at noon. Then we'll go to 7A at 2 o'clock. Cooper City and Tampa Chamberlain. In 3A, back at 3A at 5, Trinity Prep in Winter Park and Bishop Snyder out of Jacksonville. And then tomorrow night, the featured game of the evening against 7A, Bartow and Tallahassee Child. Every time I see 7A, you shake your head. I know what you're thinking. Your team made it the last 2 years in the to the semifinals and the 2 years ago the championship last year. I know you wish you were here playing, but we appreciate you coming over. But there will be some good games tomorrow.
There will be. The Bishop Moore Snyder is going to be the Trinity Prep Snyder is going to be a good game. Bishop Snyder actually beat Palm Beach Gardens this year.
Wow, that's right.
Palm Beach Gardens was ranked #1 in the nation for much of the year. So they can play, and Trinity Prep has a very fine pitcher and of course a coach I think she invented softball.
Bishop Snyder winning 5-1 yesterday. I guess that would be Finucane.
Coach Finucane, yeah.
29 years.
Outstanding.
607 wins.
She has about 600. She had about 600 in volleyball too before she retired.
Yeah, right. Bishop Snyder beat Palm Beach Gardens 5-1 during the season. They're 24-5, and they'll be back for the first time since 2008. Bishop Snyder won a state title in 2006. So that's tomorrow at 5, and then we mentioned Bartow and Childs tomorrow night at 7. That's in 7A as well. And then
that's gonna be a good game too.
The championship games there tomorrow night or on Saturday 4 o'clock for 3A, and then 4:05, and then 7A will be at 7:05 as they count 1 and 2 to Courtney Dart, the shortstop. Jamie Uvare, her pitch on the way, is up high, a little bit outside. It's even now at 2-2. We'll talk about the 4A and 8A semifinals. That will be on Sunday.
The Gulliver Prep will be here. Is that 4A?
And inside corner called strike 3. I don't know if she went around or they called it. It looks like either way it's a strikeout. Second one for Jamie Ovare, one out here in the second. She had a much better first inning today than she did last night. She walked the bases loaded.
A little more focused today.
Gulliver Prep and Bishop Rowe. That'll be a heck of a game on Sunday at 2 o'clock. That's 4A. Florida High and Keystone Heights at 5. Hit to third. Throw it crosses in time as the play made over there by Kayla Davis. Quickly 2 outs as Jamie Gonzalez grounds out to third. Keystone Heights coming for the first time since 1995. That's Florida High out of Tallahassee. That's in 4A. Then 8A, you'll see Miami, Palmetto, and Jupiter, the team that knocked out Palm Beach Gardens.
Jupiter's got a tough team.
That's the noon game on Sunday. And then the final game Sunday night at 7. Mandarin out of Jacksonville will take on Durant out of Plant City Durant.
Yeah, Plant City.
So that's the schedule coming up this weekend. Still 4 more days to go. 0-1 the count to Sophia DeVesa, the third baseman. Swinging and a miss, and it's 0-2. And Navari really working ahead as well as we saw Sacramento in the first inning for Pembroke Pines.
They come down with those old-fashioned pitching duels after all the runs yesterday.
And swing and a miss for strike 3. That rise ball got up there and went right by DeVesa.
It's her second rise ball strikeout, isn't it? She ended the first inning with the same one.
That's right. So 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 in the game early on for Uvari. Nothing across for Pembroke Pines Charter. We go to the bottom of the second. No score between Pembroke Pines Charter and Niceville here in the 6A state championship game for the National Training Center in Clermont. I'm joined tonight, as I was last night, and Mark Wilmon, the head coach at Winter Springs High School, and we appreciate your time. And we talked a little bit about your program earlier, but a team that semifinalists 2 years ago in 6A and last year's state championship game appearance, and a program that you've really built there, and it's been on the rise for a while.
I've been very fortunate to have not only good players but good coaches. We have a good feeder system out of the Central Winds, Babe Ruth next to us, and very, I guess, parents, you might say, are very passionate about softball, so their kids are playing all the time and year-round, and very competitive group and a very competitive county. Seminole County has a lot of good softball.
And you play in the district, as you said, with Lake Howell, who also is an excellent team, and you played them 4 times this year, and they all were close.
Yeah, all extra inning games, all by 1 run. We were only behind 5 times all year in 29 games, and 4 went to Lake Howell and 1 to Gulliver Prep. So we managed to fight back and win 2 of those, but
never gets easy. It doesn't get easy.
No, when you face a team 11 times in 3 years, both teams know each other real well. And so it's pretty much the first one to blink, and we blinked first in the regional finals. Lake Howell's a fine team, very well coached.
We'll see Childs tomorrow night, who knocked off Lake Howell in the regional final, who beat your team in the regional semis. So that's obviously Childs has had to play some tough competition, and Bartow has 7 state championships from the Glen Rutenbar. So a tough area, tough regions for all the teams in 7A, including your Winter Springs team.
Well, Childs has a 1-0 victory over this Niceville team. And,
it's one of their 2 losses.
Right, that must have been just a heck of a game. Yeah, the other was the Dothan, Alabama, who was ranked as high as 8th in the nation at the start of the year.
Yeah,
they beat Niceville 1-0.
Niceville's lost only once to a team inside the state of Florida. That was to Childs. And that was earlier in the season, 1-0. Lost 2 games, 1-0. So we are on the bottom of the second, and I know you look at the screen, it's kind of difficult to tell who's who. They're both wearing all black. Actually, the only difference is the socks for Pembroke Pines Charter. Or the looks like the garnet or the maroon, I guess you could say. They call them maroon. This is Niceville, though, at the plate. And they're wearing the all black. 1-2 the count to Jessica Uvari, the catcher. Sacramento's pitch misses outside. It's 2-2. And so you're not just seeing things. There isn't the same team hitting every inning.
We just love the black unis.
Is that a team, the thing the girls like, or is
the
it
girls like it?
Yeah. Huh.
In fact, we were all black at home.
Outside for ball 3, and now it's 3-2. I don't know if that's always been the case in softball. It may have. Then again, you've seen a lot of these football teams go to black as well.
And Niceville likes the sleeves also, so they're just pretty much head to toe.
And that is inside for ball 4. So the first walk of the game by Sacramento, first runner for Niceville, Jessica Uvari, gets the first base. Boy, we have, for the first time this week so far, and it looks like it's going to hold up, no delays as we're on day 4. The sun getting ready to set off to the west here. A beautiful sunset as the field, the complex here, kind of at the top of the hill. You look down into the valley here at the National Training Center, and we have subdivisions next door and US 50 behind us.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit for this weather, but you will notice that then I showed up and quit raining.
It did stop raining about 5 o'clock yesterday. So today has been a nice day, and it looks like a nice evening. You
guys need to have me around more often.
I may have to bring you back for the weekend just for that. So runner at first, Asia Brechtel running for the catcher, courtesy runner.
In fast pitch softball, we have the courtesy runner, the speed up rule that allows the offense to run for the catcher with a non-starter, or run for the pitcher with a non-starter. They just have to be the same player must run for the pitcher each time, same player must run for the catcher.
Here is Kaylin Davis, swing and a miss through the first pitch on the rise ball. 2-1. Davis, 2 hits and a grand slam last night that put Niceville ahead 5-1, and they never looked back from there. She had the big hit last night for the Eagles. It's 0-1 now to her right now.
I don't think that home run went 15 feet high the whole way.
No, it was a low line drive and went over the center field fence as pitch misses outside for a ball 1-1.
I think he didn't call it. He called a strike.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 0-2. My apologies. I thought
Well,
he called it outside.
If she gets that kind of plate coverage, she's going to be tough to hit tonight.
And hit foul back. Looked like it went off either the catcher or the umpire. And it's back to the screen. Remains 0-2. And now we'll have a timeout as out to the circle goes Jamie Gonzalez to talk it over with her pitcher, Christina Sacramento.
Now, the further idea of the courtesy runner, if another pitcher comes in, you can still use that same courtesy runner to run for that pitcher. So it's a position, not a player, that she's running for.
Tom Fadul out of West Virginia, graduate of West Liberty University. The head coach at Pembroke Pines Charter. In his 12th year has won 264 games now. That misses outside 1-2. And first year as a school, 2001. By 2004, they were state runners-up. And in 2005, quarterfinals in 06, regional runner-up in 07, regional finalists. And there's called strike 3 to Davis. So that pitch, maybe a little bit outside, but it's called strike 3. Third strikeout for Sacramento, and now 1 out. They were a regional finalist in 07, state runner-up in 08, Final Four in 09, and then back here for the first time, they were regional finalists in 2011 as well. So a very consistent program, just looking for that first state championship. They're so hard to win. It's outside corner for a strike going. I don't have to tell you that, right?
I'll vouch for that.
Alex Brunson, the second baseman for Niceville.
The journey's fun too, though.
Yeah, I bet it is. It really, you know, as a swing and a miss, it's 0-2, and I'm sure when it's all over, you kind of, we won, but I kind of missed the the action.
Yeah. Well, my wife likes to tell me, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened.
Exactly. 0-2 the count to Brunson with 1 out and the runner at first. And the pitch. Swinging and a miss, strike 3. Brunson goes down swinging. Boy, Sacramento has got it going right now. 4 strikeouts for her in the first inning and 2/3.
She's working the outside corner.
Lauren Donaldson, the left fielder, will bat for the Niceville Eagles. No score here in the bottom of the second. The courtesy runner at first, that's Brechtel, as the first pitch outside 1-0. See some members of the Childs team down below us here. They're in town already, probably just taking in some softball before they play tomorrow night. It's 2-0 now.
Yeah, get out early, get stretched, get loose, go have lunch together.
Got to be a nice experience too, although I know your team isn't that far away, but just to kind of travel, go on the road, swing and a miss, it's 2-1.
It's just fun to have the time together with the kids and bond, I guess you'd say. It's more important for them to bond together, but we took them up to Panama City and just had a wonderful time.
2-1 is swing and a miss, 2-2. Took them to Panama City?
Yeah, for the Florida-Alabama shootout.
Oh, yeah. When the wasn't the Pinecastle was in that?
Pinecastle, yep. Trinity Prep.
A lot of teams, yeah.
Niceville was there. Osceola.
2-2 is well outside. It's 3-2. It's well outside, but I was just waiting to make sure it wasn't called a strike.
Guess that one got far enough out. Tell you what, we won districts and conference this year. Had a great season. But the proudest I was when we were leaving the tournament in Alabama, or the Alabama-Florida tournament, and the umpire stopped me and said, "Those are some of the most polite kids I've ever met, Coach."
There you go. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's probably something you love to hear too as a coach.
Yep.
Well, Sacramento strikes out the side. She gave up a leadoff walk and then struck out the next 3. 5 Ks Christina Sacramento through 2. No score in the 6A championship game between Pembroke Pines Charter and Niceville here on the FHSAA network. Marty Palman here along with the coach, Mark Wilmon. We appreciate, again, as I said, Coach, you joining us. And once again, we'll wish you luck down the road, and we hope to see your team here. I know you. We like having you here, but I know you'd rather be on the field. But thanks for coming and taking part. I know you said you were enjoying it, so I'm glad we could at least give you a little bit of enjoyment here this week.
It's nice, and it's a nice part of the year. Softball is here, and the school year's winding down a little bit. So all the work we've done in the classroom is starting to end. So we get that nice summer break, and I'm not teaching summer school. I'm going to go up north and visit my wife's relatives in Minnesota. So we're going to have maybe taking a Twins game.
Nice. Target Field. That's another one I'd like to get to at some point.
It's sweet.
You've been there?
I've been there. We were there just for standing room only, which was good because my wife teaches also, and we have 3 little girls. And so first time we got to go away, we went to Fenway Park.
Oh, wow.
And watched the Red Sox and the Mariners play, and we actually woke up because Big Papi hit a 3-run homer to put the Red Sox ahead, and we were asleep.
Oh.
We were so tired from teaching and having the kids.
Okay.
We fell asleep in the middle of Fenway Park.
Wow. And then when we woke up to Big Papi's home run. Okay.
They may have just left us in the stadium if that hadn't happened. But Target Field's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks like it. That's a place I'd like to go on my list of ballparks. There's a lot of them I haven't been to yet. There's a called strike to Bridget Blunt, 0-1. Among those is Fenway Park, but also I really like to see Pittsburgh, PNC Park.
I heard that was nice.
Yeah, and Cincinnati I think is another one.
Camden Yard's supposed to be really nice too.
I have been there. That's hit softly into left field, base hit for Bridget Blunt. She'll go to first base, leadoff single in the top of the 3rd, second hit of the game for Pembroke Pines Charter. She just lifted that one over the head of the shortstop and third baseman into left field.
She got just enough barrel on that ball.
I've been to Camden Yards, and it is everything they say about it. I've been to Wrigley Field,
yeah,
and that's
I've been to Wrigley.
That's one I think everyone needs to go to, and Fenway is going to be the next one. Haven't been to the new Yankee Stadium, but the old one. So.
Been to the old one. The Jake is nice too, but you can get real cheap tickets, but you're so high up they have Sherpas bring you your popcorn, and so the birds are actually flying underneath you.
Annette Rotuno takes the first pitch for a ball 1-0. Runner at first with nobody out. She shows bunt, and it's foul, and it's 1-1. Yeah, that's I don't know. I've been to plenty of games in Turner Field, Atlanta, in the upper deck. I don't know if that's as high up as Jacobs Field.
It's not. You have to have oxygen.
1-1 count.
But $7 ticket, I guess. What can you?
That's true. You can get tickets for Braves games up there too for about that price. Hit back to the circle, bunted to throw in time. Second baseman Brunson covers, but the sacrifice works.
It's a fine play by Brunson. That ball was into the runner. She reached down and snatched it out.
Blunt gets to second with 1 out. The sacrifice 1-4 as Uvari makes the throw over. Bunt was popped up right in front of her. So with 1 out, the runner moves to second base in scoring position. And now back to the top of the order in Christina Sacramento.
A lot of fields now are getting the double bases where you have to run through that little box and hit the outside base, which would have prevented any bad thing from happening on that bunt. But here we only have the single base, so she could have ran through the second baseman covering and knocked that ball out.
On the outside corner for a strike, it's 0-1. The runner now at second base with 1 out. When do they do the double base? I saw the double base, but I know I haven't noticed it here.
It's not required, but we do it at our field just for safety's sake. I've seen kids get clotheslined.
Okay.
Kids hurt their shoulders, and
so they don't have to run into the
right. They have to run to the outside bag. If they're in the inside bag, it's interference. They're out.
Okay.
But if you're a fielder, you can use the outside bag on a pass ball third strike.
Ooh, just foul, and boy, it was smoked by Sacramento over the third base side. It's 1-2.
This kid's got some good hands.
Tell you, I was in the press box earlier when you and Kelly were working the game, and all of a sudden I noticed it looked like the plague of love bugs descended here on the National Training Center. And then they went away.
Right as soon as it got dark and the wind kicked up just a little bit, but I thought I was going to be carried away. I didn't know if I had love bug something on me they liked, but they were all over me.
I'll tell you, right behind us where we're set up here on the balcony, there's the 1-2. Called strike 3. Good pitch by Ovari. Gets her 4th strikeout. Sacramento, the opposing pitcher, strikes out looking, and out 2 outs. As there's a what I call a love bug graveyard behind us. There is carcasses all over it, and the door up to the press box here. 2 outs. Here's Cheyenne Williford, who singled, stole second, was left stranded back in the first. But good pitch there by Ovari. She came back to get her 4th strikeout. She has at least 1 K in every inning so far. Williford swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, she's certainly under a lot more command tonight of her pitches.
They got to a little bit of a slow start last night. Really started pitching well in the middle innings. Had a little bit of a hiccup with 3 runs allowed in the 5th inning, but rolled after that last night against O'Galley. Swing and miss, and it's 0-2.
I guess it must be kind of neat pitching to your sister.
Well, you're right. I don't know if there's a lot of arguments, but I don't know how much your pitcher shakes off your catcher in softball. But
well, usually they're shaking off the coach when they do that.
That's popped up. That's also true. And the catch made as Ovari runs into Diekman, the first baseman, but the catcher Jessica Ovari makes the play for the 3rd out. So Pembroke Pines gets a leadoff single. Pembroke Pines charter, that is. They leave a runner at second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1. Runner left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd in our 6A championship game. Still no score between Pembroke Pines charter and Niceville here on the FHSAA network. Sorry. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Marty Paulman along with the coach from Winter Springs High School, Mark Wilmon, joining me here from the National Training Center in Clermont. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors for Pembroke Pines. They have now left 2 on base. Actually, pardon me, it should be 2 hits for Pembroke Pines. The scoreboard says 1, so I apologize for that. Niceville with nothing across as they had a runner reach on a walk into second. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, 8, 9, and 1 coming up for Niceville.
Sacramento's been dominant with 5 strikeouts and 6 outs?
5 strikeouts and 6 outs and a walk. That's the only base runner she's allowed to lead off the 2nd inning. Jessica Ovari, she walked, and it might be a smart person to walk. She's their leading hitter this season, but then she worked around that last inning. Ovari, 528 coming into this week with 7 home runs and 51 RBIs. But 5 Ks, those averages, we saw that with Carasoni for Pembroke Pines charter, or for Pine Castle. 686 coming in. Wind picking up a bit, and I noticed that's something else here in Clermont that we have is a good amount of wind.
So switching it was going out to right the first game, and now it's going out to left. If you get one up in the air here, may give that little extra boost.
0-1 the count to Hines. Devin Hines, a designated player, pops it up. I'll make it into the net. And it's 0-2. The net is surrounds the complex here at the National Training Center on all fields now. First year we were here in 2010, they didn't have a net at all, even over the fans here at the main field.
Yeah, I jumped under the table last night. You guys told me there was nets all over the place.
There's an opening in front of us where Bright House Network has their scissor lift right behind home plate. They've opened up that part of the net. It's 1-2.
I still don't think I'll get hit, but if somebody's going to get hit, it's going to be me.
1-2 the count. And popped up. That's going to make it out of play as well. It remains 1-2. I used to think that too. I remember one time being at a Florida softball game. I had a ball coming at me, and I said, I'm going to try and barehand this. That's a softball. That was dumb. Yeah. You don't barehand a softball. It's too big.
My players try to hit, my players try to hit me dozens of times a year. I wouldn't even get in front of slow rollers anymore. Last time I did, I hit me in the nail and just split it down the middle. So I don't even try. Get out of the way. The young kids get it.
1-2 the count. A little bit outside, 2-2 is Hines at the plate, bottom of the third with no score. I guess that's the travails of being a softball coach.
Some rockets come down there. I managed to get away from most of them. I don't know how much longer that's going to last.
2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Sacramento is rolling. That's 4 in a row. Actually, that's 6 in a row via strikeout. She had a walk mixed in there and 1 out in the third. I don't know. We'll see if what Niceville changes when they get to back to the top of the order. Their second time around against Sacramento. This is the number 9 hitter, Courtney Adams, the right fielder. Usually you see some sort of adjustment for most teams.
Good hitters will make an adjustment, but maybe I haven't seen her do anything real special. She's just throwing strikes and hitting her. She's got a little curveball. It's getting the outside corner. But nothing really overpowering right now.
So left-hander Adams, the number 9 hitter, will hit. And tries to check her swing. She went around 0-1.
Pembroke Pines in the traditional slap defense with the second baseman playing up and the first baseman playing behind the bag. We saw earlier in the 2A game where second baseman was back and the first baseman was up, and that's the one you don't normally see because the slapper can hit a ground ball to second base and beat that out easily.
That's down the middle for a strike, 0-2. Working her pitches right now is Sacramento. She is a senior. Oh, 2 the count to Adams, who was 0 for 2 last night in the semifinal win over O'Galley. A little bit outside, 1-2. Stephanie Hartness, the top of the order, coming up as on deck for Niceville. We're talking about the Pinecastle team. Swing and a miss again for strike 3.
Wow. Whew. She's got
7 Ks. She does. I guess if you're Mark Richard and his team, boy, there was a tough loss for them today, but you got to say goodbye to someone you've coached for 7 years. Emily Carasone, it's hard to believe that, I was mentioning earlier, she'll be going to Auburn, but he only gets to play 4 years there. Yeah. Kind of like a blip on the radar for her. After 7 years at Pinecastle Christian.
You got to feel that if you coach the kid for 7 years, almost your own child.
Yeah, exactly. As the first pitch is a ball 1-0 to Stephanie Hartness, the center fielder, 0 for 1 with a fly to center.
And not only do you get to make an imprint on that child's life, but she'll make one on yours too, being around that long. And that's one of the great things about coaching too, is that you really get to be fond of most of these kids.
Swing and a miss, 1-1 to Hartness now.
And it actually helps you as a parent because you get to understand a lot of different parenting styles and a lot of what kids go through.
So 1-1 the count with 2 outs, nobody on for Niceville. And looking in at Sacramento, the pitch. And popped up. That's going to make it foul off of the lift there in front of us and into the net. It's 1-2.
I wasn't scared that time.
A little bit short. To be honest, the first 2 years we were here, we never had one reach us up here. It would hit the front. It's a ways back from home plate here. Pretty good ways. Well, once I say that, somebody will hit it back here. Now I'm not as, like I said, it's not a big deal. There's a net. 1-2 the count. And looking in, and the pitch is a little bit outside now, 2-2 to Hartness. Pembroke Pines Charter played Palm Beach Gardens this year, lost to them 12-0. Lost to St. Thomas Aquinas as well as Pompano Beach. Those were the 3 losses during the season. Then Archbishop McCarthy, who they beat twice during the regular season, beat them 6-5 in the championship game of the district. So that put them on the road, and then the Jaguars go on the road, as you said, sometimes not too bad to play on the road, or they outscored their regional opponents 22-3 in 3 road games. 5-1 over Archbishop McCarthy in the rematch of the regional semis, 5-2 over Ida S. Baker in the regional final, and 12-0 over Mater Academy in the regional quarters.
Well, it's getting hot when you need to get hot. What was the score of the, did you say play Aquinas?
Yeah, 10-6. 2-2 swing and a miss by Hartness, another strikeout.
Just watching Roger Clemens up there.
Sacramento has struck out the side. Yeah, that's right. In the last 2 innings, 8 Ks in a row for her with a walk mixed in, and through 3 innings, no score between Pembroke Pines Charter and Niceville here in the 6A softball championship game on the FHSAA network. Marty Paulman here along with Coach Mark Woolman, and boy, right now the pitchers are dominating, although again we'll see what happens as both teams go through the orders a second time. Jamie Ovari with 4 strikeouts, and she's allowed 2 hits so far for Niceville. And on the other side, Christina Sacramento with 8 Ks has allowed no hits and 1 walk.
Yeah, we have it over here.
So Pembroke Pines Charter with no runs on 2 hits, no errors so far. Niceville with nothing across. And the Jaguars will come to the plate with 3, 4, and 5 in the top of the 4th. Gonzalez, Palacio, and Courtney Dart. Just tie it up maybe. Sorry. So to the top of the 4th we go in the 6A state championship game, as we will have another state champion, our 4th of the week crowned tonight here at the 2012 FHSAA softball finals. And again, as we said, tomorrow we'll move to Class 3A and Class 7A beginning at noon. More semifinal action tomorrow. Kelly Neff and Mike Rideout will have the play-by-play, and on Saturday, Kelly and Mike will bring you the 3A state championship game at 4:05, the 7A state title game at 7:05. On Sunday, 4 more semifinal games starting at noon in Class 4A and 8A that day as well. And then everything wraps up next Monday, May 14th, with the 4A and 8A state championship games at 4:05 and 7:05. There's a drive hit into left field, and that is going to be out of here. Way over the left field fence by Victoria Gonzalez. And just like that, it's a 1-0 lead for Pembroke Pines Charter. 12th home run of the season for Gonzalez. Boy, she got a hold of that one on the first pitch. That's her 12th home run of the year. RBI number 38. Came into the week hitting .451, and there she gives her team a 1-0 lead in this championship game. We've seen a couple hit over the center field fence, but boy, that one was well over the left field wall.
Towering hit.
It really was. You could tell from the beginning, and there's some kids out over the left field wall that got a softball. Check swing by Palacio back to the circle, and Uvario will make the throw to first in time to put out 1-3, but Pembroke Pines Charter breaks on top with the solo home run here in the top of the 4th.
There's a lot of game to go, but the way Sacramento's pitching, she's got to feel pretty good with any lead at all.
Now that'll bring up Courtney Dart, the shortstop. And that's a ball 1-0. So Pembroke Pines Charter now with 3 hits. Niceville still looking for their first hit of the game. And that is in the dirt. It's 2-0.
Watching Jessica Uvari work behind the plate, it's almost a catching clinic how she broke down that low pitch to stop it from going by even with no runners on.
2-0 is all the ball, 3-0. So 3-0 with a run already in here in the top of the 4th. 1 out. The shortstop, Courtney Dart, at the plate, who came in at .333 with 11 RBIs for the semifinals yesterday. There's a crack in the outside corner. It's 3-1. Oh, ball 4, sorry. Thought I'd heard a strike call. Apologies. So Uvari, her first walk of the day, and a runner to first with one out. She had 7 walks last night. So
usually umpires aren't supposed to say anything on balls, but I could hear them all up here yell.
that's
"Ooh."
why I thought it was a strike. You're right, they don't normally say that. So 1 out, runner at first. Here's Jamie Gonzalez, the catcher, who grounded to third, only about 0 for 1 back in the second inning. Hit to right field, heading foul and out of play as Adams tried to make a run for it, and it's 0-1. Seem to be getting a little bit better swings now on Jamie Uvari.
Right, looks like Pembroke Pines is making their adjustments in the box.
And the 0-1 showed bunt and took the pitch for a strike. Now 0-2. So Pia DeBesa, the third baseman, is on deck for the Jaguars of Pembroke Pines Charter. Maybe a little bit smaller crowd than we had earlier today, although that was Pine Castle Christian and Grandview. But a pretty good crowd. Swing and a miss. And it's now, well, that is strike 3, so 2 outs. And
Pine Castle being local was a good draw.
Orlando. 5 strikeouts now for Uvari. She's had at least 1 in every inning of the game, and 2 outs now. DeVisa, she struck out swinging in the second, 0 for 1. And there's a drive hit into left field. That may drop, and it will, and then it gets past the left fielder out there, Lauren Donaldson, but the runner, Dart, will hold up at second, and DeVisa with a single. And now 4 hits for Pembroke Pines Charter, first and second, 2 outs. Just dropped that one in front of the left fielder. So now the Jaguars trying to keep the inning going with 2 outs.
We've seen what teams can do with 2 outs today. That's why they get 3 strikes.
That's right. Bridget Blunt, the right fielder, led off the third with a single. She was left stranded. She's 1 for 1. Blunt came in .407 with 8 RBIs. And first pitch chopped back to the circle. And Uvari will throw over to first in time to retire Bridget Blunt. But a run in the inning on the solo home run by Victoria Gonzalez. There were 2 hits, a walk, and no errors in 2 left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th in this 6-8 championship game. It's Pembroke Pines Charter 1, Niceville nothing here on the FHSAA network. And a reminder that tomorrow again we'll start at noontime, and 3A should be an interesting class as well, as all of them are, but we will see the semifinals beginning early tomorrow about noontime with Kings Academy out of West Palm Beach and Delray, or Boca Delray American Heritage. We've already had one American Heritage team win in 2A, or pardon me, 5A earlier this week. Now Delray Boca American Heritage will try to win in 3A.
Yeah, Heritage lost to Gulliver Prep last year, didn't they? And they were both in the 4A.
Actually, American Heritage Boca Delray won in 2A last year. So they defeated Trinity Prep 1-0.
But the other American Heritage, the one that won 5A, was
Plantation. They won it last in 2009, actually, before this year. But Delray Beach American Heritage did win last year in 2A. So it's
a good softball down there.
It's easy to get them confused. As Audrey Diekman will lead off the bottom of the 4th for Niceville. She struck out looking in the first, and so is everyone else.
So is everyone.
Except everyone in the order, except for Jessica Uvari, struck out at least once already. Uvari walked in the second. Her only base runner so far for Niceville. Now they trail it 1-0 as Diekman swings through it, 0-1. This swinging.
She's got some really good control tonight, command of that zone, and changing pitches. She's up and down with it. And Niceville just cannot put contact on the ball. Here's another one.
Down the middle, 0-2. Well, this is the second time through the order for the Eagles against Sacramento. We'll see what adjustments are made as Diekman's behind 0-2. And took that one inside, almost hit her. It's 1-2. And filled in at third.
That's again, we talked last night, but that's the difference, one of the big difference between the baseball game and the softball game. But in softball, the third baseman plays 10 to 20 feet within the bag.
That was a changeup. Took a little bit off that one, and another strikeout. Diekman swings through it. 9 Ks for Sacramento. She's been blowing it by him with the rise ball, but she also uses the changeup effectively.
And that makes that rise ball so much quicker with that changeup that she's throwing.
So 1 out, and here is Jessie Mullen. She struck out swinging in the first, and pops it back into the net. 0-1.
One good thing you say if you're the Niceville coach, at least your kids are up there taking swings. They're not getting frozen on strike 3, so they're giving themselves an opportunity to get on base.
Infield in at first and third against Mullen.
Another difference between the baseball and the softball game is that in softball, corner defense is more important than middle defense. In baseball, it's the other way around because of the short game, the bunts and the slaps and the speed of the kids and the 60-foot bases. So some of your best defenders are at third.
Yeah, exactly. First and third are definitely third. 1-1 the count. Outside 2-1. There's in baseball, your second baseman, your shortstop pretty much mean everything, especially your shortstop usually. 2-1 the count. What you said earlier, the courtesy runner, that's called the speed up rule, right? They call it that? They're able to get a quicker runner in there.
And you can use it as a weapon. It's designed so that your catcher doesn't take a long time to get to the field between innings, or your pitcher doesn't take a long time to get them in. And then, of course, if your pitcher doesn't know how to slide or something like that, then you can put a runner in. And if you have the personnel, you can make a weapon out of it. Like next year, my pitcher already penciled in that she'll lead off most games because she has a real high on base and real high average, and she gets on, immediately I can put a speedier kid in for her. She had 13 home runs this year, so she'll get a couple extra bats.
2-2 is fouled back to the screen, and Mullen stays alive at 2-2. 13 home runs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I learned that from Joe Torre. We put McGuire lead off a couple times.
From, oh yeah. 2-2 the count.
I figure we can probably get her 15 extra bats a year in the leadoff spot.
And misses outside for ball 3. It's 3-2.
That's been a strike all day. That must have been down just a little bit.
We were talking about this the other day as, I know I probably bring this up too much, but I live in Gainesville following the Florida softball team, and they have struggled a bit this year. There's the 3-2. Inside corner, strike 3. Taking it is Mullen, another strikeout. That's 10. 10 in a row for Sacramento, again with a walk in between. And that walk, she's got a perfect game going. She is dominant right now. 2 outs here in the fourth.
And again, she doesn't have overpowering stuff, but the changeup makes the curveball look that much quicker and the rise ball jump that much more. And the fact she's just throwing strikes inside and out.
2 outs, and here's Jessica Ovari. She's the only Niceville player who hasn't struck out. She walked in the second. The courtesy runner was left stranded, and the first pitch, a strike, 0-1. We were talking about Florida, though. They've had a very young team this year. They lost a lot of players. And Michelle Moultrie, their only senior, was a leadoff hitter most of the season. And Tim Walton made the comment he always wants to bat her leadoff because he doesn't want to have her in the on-deck circle at the end of the game and wish he hadn't used. Well, the other day against Alabama, he put her in third. And what happened? She was in the on-deck circle at the end of the game. They lost by 2 runs. So sometimes coaches say what they say they aren't going to do those things, but they just have to shake it up a bit. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2. And
sometimes you hear, the people that understand the game, don't understand why you're doing something, and
yeah,
foolishly we acquiesce to other people's ideas. We have an idea and we need to go with it. That's why they're paying us the big bucks, or maybe the little bucks.
1-2 the count, and hit high in the air. Over foul territory. Play was made. Looks like the second baseman over there. And, well, it wasn't a strikeout, but Gonzalez makes the play in foul territory. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Sacramento as Uvari pops up to the second baseman. Nothing across for Niceville. Who still has not had a hit and only one base runner. We go to the fifth, 1-0. Pembroke Pines Charter leading Niceville in this 6A state championship game here on the FHSAA network.
You know, the Niceville coach did the only thing he could. He put a courtesy runner in early. That's all he's had to do the whole game, except be a cheerleader. He has no runners on base. Nothing. It's kind of lonely over there when that happens. You wish one of your players would come visit you.
Well, the good news is still 3 more at bats.
Yep.
They're only down 1-0 are the Eagles as we go to the top of the fifth. And what I was alluding to though with that Florida thing, what we just said is they've lost a hitter like Brittany Schutte, and you know it's interesting how in softball one hitter like that, you lose a hitter like that, and your whole season can change, and that's what's kind of happened with them this year. Michelle Moultrie has done well, but now you can key on just one hitter. It's all you really have to worry about.
You don't want to get beat by that one kid.
So they, you know, Coach Walton had to decide to make a change and moved her to third, and then he did. You go against what you say you're never going to do, and that happens just because sometimes you get. I'm sure you get a little frustrated, or you just don't like what you see, and you just want to shake things up. So that, I know that's a tough thing about coaching. Try to make something happen when sometimes it just things kind of take place the way they're going to.
There's a lot of games over the season, and
Yeah.
the season seems long sometimes. But you know, if you're patient, you give kids get your fundamentals right, and give the kids a chance to succeed. A lot of times they'll do that.
All right, we go to the top of the fifth. 1-0. Pembroke Pines Charter leading it. The only run, the solo home run by Victoria Gonzalez, leading off the top of the fourth for the Jaguars. And at Rotuno, the left fielder, number 9 hitter, leads off and takes the first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Rotuno with a sacrifice, so no official at bats so far. Back in the third inning. 9-1-2 for Pembroke Pines Charter here in the top of the fifth. And that's outside. It's 2-0. So Sacramento, or pardon me, Umari falling behind this time. She hasn't done much of today, only 1 walk. And he's got 5 strikeouts as well. Allowed 4 hits and 1 run through 4 innings. 2-0. Chop to third, and a good play by Davis. Quick throw across in time. Boy, Rotuno quick down that line out of that left-hand batter's box, but she's out 5-3, 1 out.
That was a fine play. She did everything she was supposed to. If she hit to the shortstop, she'd probably been safe.
Rotuno listed at 5-4. Okay. 1 out, and here is Sacramento. Well, not having much of a day at the plate, but does it matter? She's over 2. She's got 10 strikeouts right now.
Let's get back in the circle.
That's right. Well, and that's the thing, as she takes the first pitch for a strike 0-1. She hits .459 during the season, so at least she can't hit.
Complete package.
Takes the first pitch, though, for a strike, and here's the 0-1 coming from Uvari. That's hit into left center. That's going to get in. There you go. Never mind what I said. All the way to the fence. That'll be a stand-up double for Sacramento. She's there with 1 out. I'm thinking we'll probably see a runner here.
That's
obviously.
speed-up
The runner at second 1 out. 5th hit of the game for the Jaguars, and she hit that one well into the left center field gap. And that's exactly what Coach Fadul's going to do here, as Cheyenne Williford's going to bat. She has a single and a pop-up, 1 for 2. And what do we have? Number... Let's see with his uniform. I think it's number 9. Marisa Kubas will run.
Get a little more speed in there. Give your pitcher a chance to take a breath.
Well, that's a big run down at second base with only 1 out in a 1-0 game. That's in for a strike to Williford. 0-1. And pop foul, bunted back. It almost caught by Jessica Uvari, so it's 0-2.
Nice athletic attempt by Jessica. just out of reach.
So 0-2 the count. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Swinging through that one is Williford, and another strikeout for Jamie Ovari. That's 6 in the game. At least 1 still in every inning, and it's 2 outs. So here is Victoria Gonzalez, whose home run leading off the 4th over the left field fence, the only run in the game so far. A chance to get another runner in, the runner at second, and boy, tried to hold up on a changeup and missed. It's 0-1.
That pitch was just cruel. Oh my goodness.
Filthy is another word. Cruel
like
is
it
one.
just rolled off a table.
0-1 the count.
And here comes a fastball, so like it's 70.
Yeah, it was, and it was a strike. 0-2.
I think at the plate right now, she's all messed up a little bit.
Well, she didn't have any problem last inning. First pitch, she hit over the left field fence. It's funny, though, that can actually probably cause your pitcher to really focus even more after that. And I think you're right. I think Coach Padul is telling her, well, you look what you did last inning.
Just trying to talk her down just a little bit.
And now the Niceville team will meet in the circle as well, as they trail it 1-0 here in the top of the 5th. And you know, Niceville again has had only 1 base runner through 4 innings against Christina Sacramento. A walk by Jessica Ovari back in the 2nd.
I think you're looking at a rise ball right here. Some up and in that you can't extend on. Maybe here chase a bad pitch.
0-2 on the way.
Nope.
And hit into left field. And caught on the run this time because Gonzalez went to left again, not as deep. And the catch made out there by Lauren Donaldson. So a 1-out double for Pembroke Pines Charter, but nothing doing here in the 5th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on base. We head now to the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Pembroke Pines Charter leading Niceville in our 6A softball championship game here on the FHSAA network. Marty Paulman along with Coach Mark Wilmont from Winter Springs High School.
I think at Niceville, their first order of business to break up this no-hitter.
Get somebody on.
Lean into it. It doesn't hurt that much.
But they are right. They need base runners. It'd be nice for them to get a hit, but you get them any way you can take them right now. Only 1 base runner so far. But that's the thing. Still only down 1-0. You've got Kaylin Davis leading off, who hit a grand slam last night, so she can get a hold of one to be tied. So 5, 6, and 7 for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th. Looks like gonna have some Major League Baseball. Josh Hamilton was rained out yesterday after a 4-home run game Tuesday night. Came back today and already hit another home run.
Nothing like being dialed in. You know?
I can imagine. I mean, I've never been there. I know the great hitters have it. It probably looks like a beach ball coming up there when it's that when you're in that kind of a run.
You just rip a limb off a tree and get a hit.
And the Orioles playing the Rangers today. A doubleheader hit Baltimore. The first 3 hitters in the first inning hit home runs. Feel like the home runs are coming back a bit in Major League Baseball this year. They kind of went away. You know, we've seen it kind of tame this, go down a little bit last few years.
Last year was horrible for offense.
Yeah, but that's when baseball usually changes. As
Offense puts people in the stands.
Kaylin Davis takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1.
The defense wins championships.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1, and 0-2. And you kind of see that too with some of the games we've had this week. I mean, there's a lot more offense in softball, but right now we got a 1-0 game because when teams are this good, defense and pitching still rule the day.
The axiom is correct that good pitching can beat good hitting. We saw that in
our
regional final. Our regional semi.
That was a 1-0 game.
11 innings.
So that is 11 strikeouts for Sacramento. Davis has struck out twice. It's 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
11 out of 13, right?
11 out of 13. The only Niceville players that have hit the ball, well, Hartness is the only one to hit it into fair territory. She flew out to center to lead off the game. Uvari popped out to foul territory, the second baseman last inning. Swing and a miss again. It's 0-1. Is this just is it really just Sacramento's pitches, or Niceville just kind of swinging at everything right now?
She's throwing.
Yeah,
it's just moving.
Fouled back.
Up and down.
She also has been getting ahead of almost every hitter. It's 0-2.
And once that happens, then she can bring that changeup into play, or she can change planes, and it's just the Niceville players have not made the adjustment yet. They're the top of the order is going to get up again, but they're going to have to face 1, 2, 3, and 4 again.
They will, and that will happen maybe in the 7th. There's strike 3. As Brunson swings and misses, and she strikes out. And then she says something to Lauren Donaldson. Maybe she saw something, I don't know, but that's 12 strikeouts for Christina Sacramento. 2 outs in the 5th. Donaldson struck out swinging in the 2nd. Again, that's pretty much what everyone's done, except for Jessica Uvari, who walked and popped up. Hit down the right field line. That's going to get out of play. It's 0-1.
This is just an excellent pitching performance. Not overpowering, but location, location, location.
So Sacramento ahead of another hitter. Now we'll get a new softball. We are broadcasting live here on the FHSAA network. All games, semifinals and finals of the 2012 FHSAA softball finals. Well, all the games that aren't delayed by rain and moved to field 3 at least. So we've had 2 of those so far. 3 actually, sorry.
If it starts to rain, I'll come back tomorrow and help y'all out for a second.
Eric's in for a strike, 0-2. The forecast looked pretty favorable for the weekend, except for, I think, maybe Monday is the only issue possibly at this point. It looks like through the weekend it'll be okay.
Well, I have a surprise birthday dinner tomorrow I wasn't supposed to know about. So.
The 0-2 outside, 1-2 as Sacramento. That ball is moving. Just missed a little bit outside that time, but she's ahead again, 1-2. And the 1-2 on the way is hit softly to second, and the catch is made up the middle by Victoria Gonzalez, and it's a 1-2-3 inning as Donaldson does get a hold of it a little bit, but does pop up, and Niceville goes quickly, quietly, 1-2-3 in the 5th. They did actually hit one there, but 12 Ks for Sacramento through 5. We go to the 6th. 1-0. Pembroke Pines Charter leading Niceville here in the 6A softball championship on the FHSAA network.
Hey, Marty, it looks like they're calling in the relief again.
You got to take off?
Yeah, I have to give tests tomorrow morning, but
all right.
A good friend wants to jump in here and talk to you, and he took you home last night.
Jason Schindel will join us here.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
It a lot. Thank
appreciate
you
very much. So we will go to the 6th. We'll have our friend from Olympia High School come on, Jason. How you doing?
Good. How you doing, Mark? Or Marty? I'm sorry.
It's okay. That was Mark.
Mark just left.
Yeah, it was Mark. Mark and Marty. Yeah, that was easy enough to know. As we go to the 6th, boy, we'll go from Winter Springs to Olympia High School now. And Jason, remember your last name again?
Schindel.
Schindel. I got it. Okay, I did get it right. Jason Schindel. Thank you, sir. And how about the performance we're seeing right now from the pitcher for Pembroke Pines Charter?
You know, she's doing a great job. I was watching it inside on the live feed from Bright House, and her ball's definitely moving. She's not throwing a lot of steam, just a lot of changing of pace and placement of the ball, and they're just going right after it and just can't keep up with it. Or I don't know. I guess as a coach, you got to kind of look at it. Do you move her up in the front of the box and take away all the movement?
Well, I'm a little surprised. I thought the second time through the order, Niceville may adjust, but really it's just been too tough. And we got ourselves one of these old-fashioned pitcher's holes that you see in softball, not as much as you used to. 1-0 here in the top of the 6th. They only run a solo home run as Gonzalez hit one over the left field fence to lead off the 4th. That ball was a shot, too.
I'll tell you
High
what,
fly ball.
Games like this, if you don't have gray hair as a coach, when it's done, you will.
0-1 the count. And a little bit outside, it's 1-1. And Uvari's pitched well, too. I mean, she's allowed 5 hits, but only 1 run. But she had 7 walks last night, only 1 today. So she hasn't really been as much trouble. She had the bases loaded twice against her last night. But,
yeah,
again, just been outpitched by Sacramento. And back to the backstop, and it's now 1-1.
Yeah, last night, like you were saying, she had bases loaded a couple times, pitched her way out of it, had some good defensive plays. Tonight, she's had good defense behind her. You know, one girl just gets a hold of a fastball she left hanging in there, and 1 run could be it.
And down there, you mentioned Bright House bringing the championship games live this week in Central Florida. The 1-1 outside, 2-1. Drew Filios, Dot Richardson, a legend of softball in this country, 2-time gold medal winner in softball in the Olympics.
2000.
That's right.
Yep.
Atlanta 96, Sydney 2000. Very, very involved in the National Training Center here in Clermont. And that's ball 4. So right when I say she hasn't been walking anyone, there's the second walk to lead off the 6th as Monica Palacio draws the free pass. She goes to first base.
Yeah, and I can tell you as a coach, that's one thing that'll drive you crazy is getting that first batter on with nobody out and give them a free pass. It's almost guaranteed they're going to score one way or another if they execute.
Well, in a 1-0 game, too, where Niceville's having trouble getting anybody. In fact, they've only had 1 runner on base with a walk. You know, 1 more run, maybe killer.
Yeah, that could be tough to overcome. 1 run, you know, still a solo home run can keep them in the game. 2, it's going to be tough to come back from, I think.
Courtney Dart with a walk and a strikeout. Pops the bunt up. Going to be a tough play for Dykeman. And throw, though, made in time. Brunson with a nice scoop. And the sacrifice 3-4. Dykeman, the left-hander, it was kind of a tough play for her, really, to make that throw. Tom Fadul.
Yeah, Coach Tom from Pembroke.
Tom
Pines,
Fadul,
yeah,
yep.
Did textbook there to get the runner over to second base, put her in scoring position. I mean, this is going to come down to a 1-run ball game, and I think he's playing for the insurance run right now. And with this pitcher pitching the way she's pitching, with basically only 9 outs left in the game, he's going for the throat right here with this, I think.
Well, the bunt works. It moves the runner over as Palacio to second with 1 out. Jamie Gonzalez is supposed to bat, and there is Coach Fadul talking over with a home plate umpire. We mentioned the 3rd year we've had the finals of softball for the state, the FHSAA softball finals here in Clermont, a complex that is about 4 years old. Dot Richardson has been part of this as well as Bob Borak. Again, he's told us the other day, 52 weekends, there's about 46 weekends where there's something going on here. Clinics, tournaments, and that's amazing. A lot of work. A lot done here. This is we're only here about 8 days, but this is just part of what goes on here in Clermont year-round.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were talking about this last night. I don't think they have a day off or a weekend off now until Thanksgiving. Actually, yeah.
That's, again, like I said, the good part about it is you can play softball here almost year-round in Central Florida. Probably can, actually.
Yeah, pretty much every day if you wanted to. I mean, minus the rain, we'd have to move to field 3 if it got past the first.
Like I said, popped into center field and moving in, making the catch. Out there is Hartness, and the runner can't move up, so Jamie Gonzalez flies out, and that's a big second out for Niceville as Palacio will stay at second. Yeah, well, we can move to field 3. We know that. That's always an option. That's 3 times this week that's happened. Today, we said the first day without any delays. Looks like I think we've made it. We got an official game now. So
yeah, I was looking behind us over there, behind field 3, and there was actually some inclement weather coming in. It looked pretty nasty, but I think we dodged a bullet on that one.
Oh, I didn't know that. I was looking at the radar. It looked clear, but okay. As Sophia Davisa, the third baseman, is 1 for 2. She struck out and singled. Scared me there for a minute. Thought you said it was coming.
No, I think it skirted around the backside of us over here.
Never mind, almost jinxed us again. 0-1 the count. And hit softly on the infield in foul territory, and the play is made over there by Diekman for the 3rd out. So leadoff walk, but then nothing doing for Pembroke Pines Charter. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-0, as Pembroke Pines Charter leads Niceville here in the 6A final on the FHSAA network. And I think coming into this game, really, we probably thought of Niceville as being the favorite. They're maybe a nationally ranked team, one of the best in the state, but once again, you see what a good pitcher is on fire can do for you, and that's exactly what Sacramento's doing as the Jaguars are looking for their first state championship, and they've been close 3-time state finalists.
Yeah, I mean, she's coming in pitching a great game. I mean, and maybe Niceville hasn't seen pitching like she's throwing. Maybe they're used to people just throwing straight fastballs at them, and anybody can really sit back on a fastball and give it a ride, but you start getting movement, and it becomes a whole different ball game as a batter.
Well, we will see how she reacts again as she'll get ready to go through this order again, but 8, 9, and 1 first up as Hines, Adams, and Hartness will come up for the Eagles. 12 strikeouts so far for Sacramento. And so let's see, 2, 5, 8, 9, actually 11, pardon me. She's got 11 strikeouts. She struck out the side in back-to-back innings in the 2nd and 3rd. In fact, she had a streak going of 10 in a row at one point with a walk mixed in there. That's the only runner that's reached. That was Jessica Uvari, who walked to lead off the 2nd. But it's still only 1-0. So all you can do, a couple base runners, and Niceville can take the lead.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx her any. I mean, Hines here, she has a chance to come in and break up a no-hitter. I mean, like you said, the only base runner that they've had is that walk. And I definitely wouldn't want to walk away knowing that someone threw a no-hitter against me in a championship state finals.
Well, here we go. It's Hines, and she has struck out. Actually, we're going to have a pinch hitter for the designated player, number 18.
That's Haley Pelkey.
Haley Pelkey, yes, she will hit for the designated player. And she'll lead off the bottom of the 6th. And there's another strike on the outside corner. Boy, we've really seen Sacramento hitting the outside corner most of the night. Pelkey, 286 with 5 RBIs. Changeup misses up high, 1-1. Freshman is Haley Pelkey.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, I think isn't Hines one of only 2 seniors on the entire roster for them?
For Niceville?
Yeah.
No, she's a junior.
Is she a junior?
1-1 is a ball inside 2-1. Hartness and Adams are seniors, and the Uvaris are seniors.
Okay.
So they got 4. 2 of them are twins.
Yeah.
And they're the pitcher-catcher battery.
That's a nice combo. They work well together.
Popped foul off to the left out of play. It's 2-2. Well, it's turned out to be a nice night again.
We're getting a nice breeze up here tonight.
Yeah, a little less humid than last night. We had I think a cold front or something moved through. I mean, it was warm today, but not as humid, and definitely still a warm day. But tonight, the winds have picked up. It's been a nice evening. As we've had our first day without a delay, it looks like, here in Clermont. 2-2 the count. Tomorrow will be 4 games, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah,
3 and 7
ourselves on that one.
That's right. And called strike 3. Pelkey couldn't swing the bat. She thought, or at least was trying to see if that was going to be ball 3. Instead, she's called out for out number 1. So that now, I was right, 13. That is 12. That was 12 strikeouts for Sacramento. Now 13.
13 now?
was right the first time. She struck out at least 2 in every inning. She struck out the side in back-to-back innings the 2nd and 3rd. And now she has 13 Ks. Courtney Adams struck out swinging in the 3rd. The only player that has not struck out in the Niceville order is Jessica Uvari, who's walked and popped up to the second baseman in foul territory.
And I think that may have been giving her a little bit of respect, being the number 4 batter. They were trying to not give her anything really close to hit, and she's a good disciplined batter at the plate.
She also hits over 500, so
yeah.
that has something to do with it. Swing and a miss. Well, he took a little bit off that one, and it's now 1-1 to Adams, the right fielder.
Kind of makes you wonder if they would have went after Uvari, if she'd have a perfect game going right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only runner to reach. No hitter going, and 1 runner away from a perfect game. Swing and a miss again. Adams is behind 1-2. Stephanie Hartness on deck, the leadoff hitter, though. Top of the order coming up for the Eagles. That's what I was thinking about with the Jared Weaver no-hitter recently, which was a week and a half after Philip Humber threw a perfect game for the White Sox. And probably the most nondescript guy ever to throw a perfect game. And then he came back and allowed 8 runs 3 or 4 days later. But Weaver, I mean, 1 walk and you have a perfect game. I mean, you got to be like, wow, I had a no-hitter, but man, a perfect game. There's been like 25 of them in the history of baseball.
I think you're about right. I think
no-hitters are more common. But yeah, I think you got to kick yourself. That was nice and all, but man, I walked that one guy.
As much as I don't like to
swing and a miss, strike 3.
Pick on umpires, I believe it was last year that that perfect game was taken away by the umpire who kicked the call at first base.
That was Jim Joyce.
Yeah.
That was 2 years ago, Armando Galarraga.
Yep.
And you know what, though? Give him credit. He took responsibility. He looked at it and said, you know what? I screwed up. I feel bad for this kid. And
I will tell you this, as a fast pitch official, we like to get the call right. Our egos aren't involved. Or at least like to say most of our egos aren't involved. But in baseball, you see it all the time. It's about them not making themselves look bad. Something to that stakes, you want to go ahead and get that call right. You know what I'm saying?
So Hartness at the plate. She has flown to center and struck out 0 for 2. 1-0 the count to the leadoff hitter. Left-hander back at the top of the Niceville order as the pitch misses outside. Now it's 2-0, and this is something we haven't seen much today. That would be Sacramento falling behind a hitter.
We'll see if she comes back with a fastball down the middle and see if Hartness is sitting there waiting on it. This is definitely a pitch to wait on it.
Change-up she came back with.
Wow, that's...
Swing and a miss.
You don't see that too often. You got to have some real command and control over that changeup to throw it on a 2-0 pitch to come back and get a strike on a batter.
2-1 the count. 2 outs, nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th for Niceville, trailing at 1-0. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Actually, it was 2-2, and she swings through it for another strikeout. Sacramento strikes out the side again. For the 3rd time today, she strikes out the side, and she has had at least 2 strikeouts in every inning of this game. 15 Ks through 6. We go to the 7th. Pembroke Pines holding on. Pembroke Pines Charter holding on to a 1-0 lead over Niceville in our 6A championship game here on the FHSAA network for the National Training Center in Clermont. What a performance. 1 walk, 15 strikeouts, and no hits allowed for Sacramento through 6, and we'll see if Pembroke Pines Charter can get some insurance here in the top of the 7th with a 1-0 lead. They'll have 8, 9, and 1 coming up.
She's just having an impressive performance right now. I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that from her.
Now, for Niceville in the bottom of the 7th, 2, 3, and 4. So, and then Ovari due up, and then Kaylin Davis is batting 4th in the order next inning. So, got a tough gauntlet of hitters to go through. So, if you'd like to see probably another run or 2 if you're Tom Fadul here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, and I know we like to stay neutral and stuff like that when you're either umpiring or even if you're broadcasting. But, you know, when a kid's throwing 15 strikeouts and throwing a no-hitter, you kind of want to root for her a little bit going into the bottom of the 7th inning that she keeps it going that way.
Yeah, it has been a fun performance to watch for Sacramento. She's trying to get Pembroke Pines Charter that first state softball title, and right now dominating a Niceville team. And by the way, when you look at Niceville's numbers coming into this tournament, 375 average, 254 runs, 225 RBIs on the year as a team. And last night they scored 8 in the semifinals. So this is a very good hitting team. The Sacramento is making it look easy, rolling through them right now. Bridget Blunt leads off for Pembroke Pines Charter. She's 1 for 2. And up the middle, Brunson can't backhand it. He gets into center field, and most likely a base hit.
I would give her a base hit on that. She was going away from the play, and that would have been a tough play, I think, even to get her, even if she fielded it cleanly.
Second hit for Blunt. She's 2 for 3 as she went up the middle and had a lot of spin on it. Brunson tried to backhand it, couldn't come up with it. So there's the insurance run at first base to lead off the top of the 7th. 6th hit of the game for the Jaguars. Annette Rotuno now bats. She's sacrificing, grounded to third, 0 for 1.
She was in the situation last inning too, and she got out of it unscathed. We'll see if she can pull through it again.
Rotuno showing bunt, not surprisingly. It's high and outside, 1-0.
You know, it's a different ball team than what we saw last night with Niceville. They came out, I think it was the third or the fourth inning, and they put 8 runs on a galley in 1 inning. And here they haven't even really touched the ball, let alone put it in fair territory.
And it really shows you how good Sacramento has been too, as it's bunted right back to the circle, but the only play is first for Ovari. Brunson covers, and the sacrifice works. They out recorded 1-4, but Blunt moves to second. She's in scoring position with 1 out. So again, Pembroke Pines Charter moving the run over as they did last inning, and now we'll see if the top of the order, and this is Sacramento, a chance to really help herself and her team with a base hit. 1 for 3 today. She had a double back in the 5th, and has struck out as well as grounded to third.
You know, she hasn't really given up that many hits either. I think maybe if I was here, I might try and put a bunt down. The corners are kind of playing far back. Put one down, see if you can sneak something in on them.
Swinging away and hits just foul over by the third base side, and Sacramento a little bit ahead of that one. It's 0-1. So the runner at second, now timeout. Jessica Ovari to the circle to talk it over with her sister. And the infield will meet for the Niceville Eagles. Sacramento today 1 for 3. As you see Tom Fadul talking it over with Sacramento, and also his on-deck hitter. Oh.
Did you notice that?
Got some white white stripes there. Now, I was laughing earlier that Niceville, and they look the same. I think they're both maroon. They are. They both wear all black. As the exception is the socks for Pembroke Pines Charter are maroon. Niceville wears the black socks. But other than that, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. You got to look at the uniforms.
I know when she hit that home run, I had to go back and look and see what part of the inning we were in, top or bottom, to realize who hit it.
Yeah, exactly. That home run was Victoria Gonzalez in the top of the 4th, the only run of the game so far, and it was for Pembroke Pines Charter. Now the 0-1 to Sacramento, and it got away back to the backstop, and to third goes Blunt. Hard to see if that was a wild pitch or a pass ball. Counts 1-1. What do you call it there, wild pitch?
Yeah, I'd probably give that one a wild pitch.
Okay.
Charge that one to the pitcher.
Well, it got by Jessica Ovari, so 1-1 the count there. That's a big run at third with 1 out.
Squeeze here for sure.
Ooh, changeup. She took a lot off that one, and it falls in for a strike. Sacramento acted like she wanted to go, held up, and then kind of wish she had. It's 1-2. One, two. Ooh, just fouled down the third baseline. She just missed driving in the run. That's 2 now. Sacramento's hit over that way. So it remains 1-2. Sacramento with 15 Ks through 6 innings, trying to get an insurance run at the plate here in the top of the 7th. One and two the count against Jamie Ovari. And the 1-2. Called outside, even 2-2.
You know, depending on how good of a bunter Sacramento is and how much confidence the coach has in her, even with 2 strikes, the way the corners are playing on her, you could actually put one down right here and probably get that run in if you're willing to gamble a little bit. And the way she's been pitching, I'd put the bat in her hands. I mean,
2-2. Oh, hit softly to third. They're going to come home, and the tag is made as Davis made the play through to Ovari, and out at the plate is Blunt for the second out of the inning. Fielder's choice, 5-2.
Yeah, that was a big play right there. I mean, that run scores, that could be definitely the ball game, no doubt about it.
And you're right, they let her swing away, but it was a good pitch by Jamie Uvari. Sacramento had to reach out, and she just got a little piece of it. And she's at first. She'll probably have a runner, I'm thinking, at first with 2 outs as Williford's going to hit, but the lead runner, the runner at third, is out at home. So it remains 1-0. Williford 1 for 3 with a single in the first. There you see Sacramento, number 80.
That's really an odd number to have in fast pitch softball. I mean, I've seen them go up to 30s, and usually that's where they end off, and then you hit them 99.
Coach Wilmont said she's a senior wide receiver. Jerry Rice, number 80, but I think we're going to have a runner. And I guess that's what we're talking about here. Well, the switch. And there goes the runner to first.
Is that 21?
21. It is Michelle Alongi. So now 2 outs, the runner's at first as the runner thrown out at the plate. And again, Cheyenne Williford, the center fielder, hits 1 for 3. Trying to bunt, and it's the call. Call the ball, it's 1-0. Williford pulled the bunt back.
I think she looked back. She wasn't sure what the call was going to be on that.
You never quite know. Yeah, that's the thing, too. It looks like you missed the bunt, but yet if you pull the bat back, she's kind of on her way down to first base, pitches up and in, it's called the ball. So 1-0 the count. That's on the middle for a strike, 1-1. Victoria Gonzalez waits on deck. Her home run is the difference in the game to this point here in the top of the 7th. The 6A state championship game here from the National Training Center in Clermont on the FHSAA network. 2012 FHSAA softball finals. 1-1 on the way. It's bunted and it falls, but foul as Jessica Uvari picks up the ball. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that was a really quick play by her too. That ball was actually going back into fair territory. If that ball goes back into fair territory, that could be trouble all the way around because nobody was going to be near that.
So the count 1-2. Yeah, it fell in between all 3 of the pitcher, the first baseman, and the catcher. Infield in at first and third. Even 2 strikes, maybe expecting still a bunt or a slap here by Williford, who swings and misses for strike 3. So that ends that inning as Williford strikes out for the 2nd time today. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for Jamie Uvari. So a single. Runner gets to third with 1 out, but then forced out at the plate. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Pembroke Pines Charter needs 3 outs for a state championship. Niceville with 1 run can tie it, with 2 runs can win. Bottom of the 7th, 1-0. Pembroke Pines Charter leading Niceville in the 6A softball championship game. Marty Palman here along with Olympia High School softball coach Jason Schindall.
Just looking at the fans there, they had a thing that said 5A state champions. I'm not sure.
Last year.
I think it was from last year.
Niceville, yeah, they won 5A a year ago and moved up to 6A with the new classes this year. And again, that was the interesting part of last night's 6A semifinal game with Ugali. Ugali won 4A last year, so 2 state champions were playing, and both had 28-2 records. Both very good teams, but Niceville's 8-run inning in the third was enough to win it 8-4. Pembroke Pines Charter knocked off Lakewood Ranch 4-0. So they also had a shutout yesterday with Sacramento in the circle against the Lakewood Ranch team, making its first appearance in the state semifinals. And now 3 more outs, and Pembroke Pines Charter will have their first state softball title. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors, and for Pembroke Pines Charter. No runs, hits, or errors for Niceville. They've had 1 base runner, and that was a leadoff walk by Jessica Uvari back in the 2nd inning. And it's been a well-played game. We've had no errors, but then again, not a lot of Niceville players have hit the ball.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, I mean, this has been pretty much a perfect game by both players, or both pitchers and defenses. I mean, the runs that have been across, 1 has been earned, and the hits have been true clean hits. It's been error-free ball. I don't even think we've seen what me and Seth call those mental errors in this game. It's been pretty sound defense all the way around.
The only run of the game is a solo home run. So for Niceville, 2, 3, and 4 in the bottom of the 7th. Audrey Diekman, the first baseman, leads off 0 for 2, struck out looking and swinging. And let's see, actually, I'm sorry, that is Diekman. Nope, actually, it is not. Asia Brechtel is going to hit. So Asia Brechtel will lead off the bottom of the 7th for Diekman.
Looks like he's trying to bring in some fresh blood that hasn't seen the pitching. And
now, quickly meeting in the circle. Tom Fadul brings his team together. I think they were expecting that. Brechtel, 133, 2 RBIs on the season. She is a sophomore. Actually used as a pitcher most of the year.
I see him bringing his corners up. He may know something about her. She may be a bunter with a little bit of speed, and they're just trying to get that runner on quick and early.
And Brechtel's appeared in 15 games as a pitcher, 8-0 record this year. And nope, takes the first pitch. It's 1-0, not showing bunt there. We'll see what happens with a 1-0 coming from Sacramento.
Pembroke still not giving in. They're still staying up close on her.
Swing and a miss, 1-1. The key tonight, too, Sacramento's really worked ahead of most of the hitters.
Yeah, I think she only fell behind on one, and that was the one she put on base.
But she did get behind 1-0 here, so we'll see what happens with Brechtel at the plate. The 1-1. That's outside corner, 1-2. Maybe a good strike zone for her tonight as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's been calling a little bit further out than
you got to adjust, though. For Danny Hensley's team, Niceville. And swing and a miss, strike 3. Swung right through it. And that's 1 out here in the 7th. 16 strikeouts for Sacramento. 2 more outs to go for the Jaguars.
She's got to be feeling it right now. I mean, sitting there.
You look at her, she looks about as focused as you could be. Eyes staring at the plate, no expression. And a strike to Jessie Mullen, the shortstop, who struck out twice, swinging and looking.
She actually looks almost stoic. We may have to send the trainer out there to see if she's got a heartbeat.
Conscious, yeah. I was thinking that too. She may not really know where she is right now. It's that zone we talk about sometimes. Again ahead 0-1. The 0-1 fouled off to the right, out of play. It's 0-2. Ahead again quickly, 0-2. Is Sacramento against Mullen. Jessica Uvari on deck. That's still a big hitter you got to face. She'd like to keep Mullen off base. The 0-2. Hit foul again off to the right. Mullen stays alive. It remains 0-2.
She's got a lot of room to play here. I mean, she can pretty much throw her anything she wants, and she's got to chase it and foul it off, or she's just going to take it where it's at. And it's a tough place to be in as a batter right now, or as a hitter, I should say.
Another 0-2 coming. And on the way, strike 3, swung through it again. What a performance, and 1 more out to go for Pembroke Pines Charter. She has 20 outs in this game so far, 17 strikeouts.
You know, I don't think I've seen her crack a smile the entire game.
I don't know if you could smile. I think she's just so focused, no time to smile. 2 outs. Here is Jessica Uvari. She walked in the 2nd, still the only hitter to reach, and popped up the 2nd. Swing and a miss, strike 1. She is actually not struck out today. The only Niceville player who hasn't. Mullen has struck out 3 times. Everyone else except Lauren Donaldson and Uvari at least twice. Strike 2 outside corner. 1 more to go.
I don't think Uvari liked that one too much.
I don't think so either. She thought it was outside, and I think that's exactly what Danny Hensley is saying down at 3rd. He is barking at the umpire. 1 more to go, though. Sacramento looking for strikeout number 18 in the state title. The 0-2. Fouled off to the right, out of play, and Uvari fights it off, and it remains 0-2.
And the anticipation builds for 1 more pitch.
And Uvari again is popped up out in foul territory, so she is not struck out today. We'll see if she continues to battle against Christina Sacramento. 0-2, 2 outs, nobody on. Niceville down 1-0, down to their final strike. The 0-2. Ooh, and that,
wow.
That has been a strike most of the night. Called outside, 1-2.
That was definitely a very loud ball call right there.
Maybe not quite sure. All right, well, we'll try it again, 1-2. Sacramento on the way. Hit into right field. It's a base hit. And there goes the no-hitter.
Wow.
Jessica Uvare has reached base twice tonight on a walk and a 2-out hit, and there's the no-hitter. Now the tying run is at first, and now Kaylin Davis, who hit a home run last night, is the winning run.
Uvare has broken up the perfect game, and she's broken up the no-hitter tonight.
She's the only hitter tonight that hasn't struck out on the Niceville side. And now Kaylin Davis hit the grand slam last night in the 8-run inning. With one swing, could win this for Niceville. How quickly things change in softball in a 1-0 game. 1 out away from the no-hitter. And I on purpose didn't say the word no-hitter not to jinx her, and she still lost it. But what do you know, Uvare down to her final strike. We saw it earlier tonight. Grandview Prep was down to its last strike. They get 3 runs in the 7th, win a state championship. We'll see if Niceville can do the same here. Kaylin Davis has struck out twice tonight as well. And that pitch is a strike now, 0-1.
I'm glad you said it and I didn't. I mean,
whew, man. I'll tell you, if you're Christina Sacramento, you got to think, I've been throwing that all night. That wasn't a strike once, and then the...
You know, if I'm Christina Sacramento, I'm staying out there all night long.
0-1.
Odds are it's going to be a strike.
That's a nice pitch. It's 0-2, and now again Niceville is down to their final strike. Well, you can't get the no-hitter, but you can still get the state championship, and that's the most important thing.
She can still get the shutout.
And the shutout as well. Another 0-2 coming to Davis. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Davis, frustrated, throws the bat, and Pembroke Pines Charter celebrates its first state championship in softball in school history, and Sacramento struck out the side again. For the 4th inning tonight, Sacramento strikes out the side, 18 Ks for their senior pitcher. They may have hurt her.
I think they may have broke her.
Yeah, it's possible as the celebration comes in, and nah, she's okay. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Niceville. In the bottom of the 7th, they leave 1 on base, and they left 2 on base the entire game. They only had 2 base runners, and it was Jessica Uvare both times, and this time they come up short. Niceville does not repeat as state champs. Last year they won 5-8. Tonight they lose 1-0, and they lose to a very dominating performance.
You know, this was a great game all around by both teams, and you want to see one of these games like this go on and on and on, but somebody's got to win it sometime.
So the final totals: 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars, who finished at 22-4. They are the 6A state champs for 2005. Christina Sacramento gets the win, 17-3 her record. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 18 strikeouts. What a game. The only run of the game, Victoria Gonzalez, a solo home run, leading off the top of the 4th. That was her 12th of the season. And for Niceville, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 on base tonight, Pembroke Pines Charter, leaving, actually had a lot of base runners in this game against Jamie Uvare. They leave 7 on base. And Uvare, a tough luck loss for her tonight, as her season and her career will come to an end at 21-3 for Niceville. But she pitched 7 innings, giving up 6 hits and only 1 run, and that run was a solo home run. And she walked 2, struck out 7. What a game. Pembroke Pines Charter joins Grandview Prep earlier tonight and Lafayette in 1A earlier this week as first-time state champs in softball.
Yeah, that's a big win, especially against Niceville coming up. You know, like you said, state champs last year, coming up here to 6A. That's a tough loss, especially the way they dominated Galley last night. I mean, you can't say enough about the Pembroke girls. I mean, they came out and played their hearts out. Both teams played their hearts out. I mean, this is, like I said before, it's one of those games you don't want to see somebody lose, but you know somebody's got to. And Sacramento pitched a heck of a game tonight.
Well, a reminder, if you want a DVD of this game, and I'm sure if you're the Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars and Christina Sacramento, you might want to see this one again. So go to FHSASports.com to order a DVD for family, friends, or athletes, anyone that might be interested. It was a great game tonight. The Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars are the 6A state champions. Jason, thanks for coming by. I enjoyed it. Good game tonight. And thanks to you, Jason Schindall from Olympia High School, and Mark Wilmot from Winter Springs High School. Thanks to Coach for being here early in the day. Also, thanks to Kelly Neff, who was here. And for our entire crew in Clermont, I am Marty Paulman saying so long from the National Training Center. This has been a production of Play On Sports and the FHSAA Network. Our final again in the 6A state championship game. The Pembroke Pines Charter Jaguars won the Niceville Eagles 0. Congratulations to Pembroke Pines Charter, the 6A state softball champs. Good night from Clermont.